Yeah, could you guys just jump in front of it?
Yeah, just jump. Yeah, I don't want to touch it.
Wow, that's your cool. I just like doing that.
I know, I'm going to say, oh, let's take another turn.
Just
All right.
fun.
Thank you guys all for coming here today. Today I'm going to give a speech on something that to me is very impacting personally in many aspects of my life, but also gives me a sense of pride in what and how I affect the world and what I'm contributing. It's called Forge a New Road. So I'm sure you guys have all heard a little bit about global warming and greenhouse gases. But just to give a brief summary of what it is, basically, is we have a planet that has a continually greater net increase of many greenhouse gases, but particularly carbon dioxide or CO2. And our vehicles, like our cars and our manufacturing plants, that's one of the greatest contributing gases to our atmospheres. And the crisis is exponential. When you look at when the Industrial Revolution started in the 1800s, it's measurable how much carbon was in the air then, carbon dioxide. And we've actually increased the total gas by 33%. And while that might not seem like a whole lot, when you understand what these gases are, what they do, it can be a great effect. Particularly when you look at greenhouse gases, they have a very beneficial role to our world originally. They're the reason that we have a warm Earth. Because what happens, you have sunlight coming into our Earth, and a lot of the sunlight goes through our atmosphere. Some of the sunlight bounces off our atmosphere. Thankfully, it protects us. Otherwise, we'd all be fried like Mercury or Venus. And then after it hits the Earth, a lot of that warmth is absorbed by the Earth. A lot of it's also bounced back out. A lot of it is. And it's supposed to leave outside the atmosphere. And our gases inside our atmosphere help blanket that in. But what we're doing is we have drastically changed the content of what that atmosphere is. One of the most basic organic processes that happens on this Earth. And we've increased it by 30%, which is huge. Like, that's a big deal. Like, if you could do that to an entire planet, and the fact that it's only increasing because of our activities that create those gases are increasing, but also the people who, but also just the sheer number of people on the planet are also increasing, makes it an exponential issue. But thankfully, we actually can help, and you actually can make a difference personally. A typical passenger vehicle emits 4.6 metric tons of carbon dioxide per year. And so to put that into perspective, that's not just a volume, a measurement of volume, because you think, a gas could fill the room pretty quick. That's a measurement of density. So that means 4.6 metric tons with per unit. So that's a lot of gas going into our atmosphere for every single person who drives a car. So why should we help? Well, when you look at other planets, for instance, do all of you know what this is a picture of? Can you guess what place that is? That's Mars. Yeah. Mars actually used to be covered by about 2/3 of it was water. It was a blue planet, interestingly enough. And the geochemical processes that changed it to this are a little different, and the cause is why, but the mechanisms are the same. It essentially was global warming. It used to be a blue planet. So here's what I did. I was in a PCC class before I transferred to PSU, and I was learning about finances and essentially how, we live in a society where no one's going to try and take bills away from you. All they're trying to do is give you another bill, whether it's a subscription here or a phone bill there, internet, whatever it is. It's always trying to be increased. And so as I was thinking about, before I was thinking about the ecological benefits, I was thinking of a change that I could make financially that would impact my life. And I could eliminate several bills with one decision. And so what I did was I actually sold my truck and got a bike. And I've experienced benefits to my health, my finances, and my moral conscience. One of the effects of our modern lifestyle that driving cars contributes to is a sedentary lifestyle. On average, we sit about 13 hours per day. 13 hours. Plus 8 hours of sleeping. So that's 20 21 hours of sedentary life. If you look at our ancestors, that was
We're so
much
tired.
different back then. Yeah, here's a little picture of the people on Wall-E. That's our,
Oh, yeah,
that's our
that's what
future.
I was
And an interesting thing is 70% of Americans don't like that. 70% of Americans don't like that we're sedentary. Risks of having a sedentary lifestyle is increased risk for cardiovascular disease, colon, breast, endometrial, and those types of cancers. Worsens your posture, and it's a sedentary lifestyle is the 4th leading global risk factor for mortality. We're not sea anemones. We're not stuck to rocks. We're meant to move. We're mammals. Another thing that by switching to a bike would help you in another way, besides being more healthy, is your finances. You would have less gas you pay for every month. Even if you just do a portion less driving, you switching to a bike, you have less gas you pay for. And you would also not have to pay for, if you switch entirely, car insurance and things like that. And one other way that this would easily fit your lifestyle is you don't have to make a change like as if you were going to start going to the gym and working out. You don't have to see, a finance counselor. You literally, the only aspect is how you do something. You still have to get somewhere. You're just changing how you're doing it. So instead of, signing up for a gym and having to make extra time for something, you literally just are getting that exercise by helping the environment and by riding a bike. At the same time, saving money. It's improving multiple dimensions of your life. Some of the financial benefits I got by switching to the bike was I still have another car, but I save about $60 a month from the gas for my truck. I don't have that car insurance anymore, so I save $130 on top of that. And then oil changes as well, I don't have to pay for those. So on average, I save, close to $1,000. Actually, sorry, with the car insurance, I save close to $2,000 a year. And then just to break down a little bit of the calorie benefits by switching to a bike, you burn about, for me, I burn about 300 calories per day, or 50 calories per mile. So that's going to vary a little bit based on your travel patterns. It's a great psychological start for me because I get to start my morning every day on a bike and get that fresh air and you feel great before you go to work. And then you have increased stamina and strength, and I have better focus. There's obviously a lot of benefits that the experts say about biking, everywhere from cardiovascular to muscular health and things like that, but I don't think I need to explain that to you guys. You guys understand what that physical exercise is good for us. So the opportunity here, just to wrap it up, is for you to be able to make an impact on the environment, because we always think, we know this impending issue, but how can we make a contribution? And that's one way that you can make a contribution without having to make too many sacrifices. And the opportunity you also get to improve your physical well-being and end your sedentary lifestyle, and then cut down on your finances a little bit. And that's all.
Yes.
Do we have 5 people?